And blessed to be with you, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio, with our friend, or we'll find out if he's our friend, Dave Pezzo joining us, the Pezzo Center. Pezzo Financial, you can catch him on Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, Money Matters, Saturdays 8 to 10 right here on KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. So we've got this trade situation going on with the Chinese.
Yes.
Now, you're down with the Chinese. You like the Chinese. Let's start with that. People think that the world is going to end, and this could lead to a recession. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think so. It's interesting, Kevin, when we break down trade just a little bit over the past year. This has been going on, this trade war, for over a year now, believe it or not. And when you really measure trade, it's how much you export, how much you import, right? And we talk about the trade deficit, but we don't often talk about total trade. And total trade is actually real close to record highs. So the trade war has not hurt trade globally, which is a very positive thing. So we are doing well in spite of this trade war that's going on. The economy is growing at a terrific rate. I don't think this is going to take us down at all. I'm not sure what China's end game is, and because this is I can't think of anything else around that has had bipartisan support, but certainly pushing back on the Chinese has. And I think it was Chuck Schumer came out last week and said the Senate supports and, that kind of stuff, which is very unusual for this Senate, or I should say for the Democrats to support. But they are publicly supporting it, and we'll see what happens. But China has a lot to lose, and I don't know why they reneged on the deal, but they did.
Well, but let's take a look at the Chinese. They play the long game. Mm-hmm. They've infiltrated our universities. They've infiltrated our businesses. They've tried to steal technology from Micron. They've been a bad player for a gazillion years. And it's only been this president who's had enough guts to take them on.
It's true. And I'm not sure why they're taking him on, because he does. I mean, he follows through. He killed the Iranian deal. He just follows through with practical things and requires that the other folks live up to their terms of the deal, and China has not been. Yeah, and they apparently had a deal. It seems to be widely covered that they had a deal, and China backed away from it. So,
well, they were on the 5-yard line, according to Larry Kudlow.
There you go. Yeah,
but at 580-5436-580-KIDO, the Chinese have had great deals for years, where they steal our technology. Horrible record on human rights. Bill Clinton was disclosed last hour, sold them all of our missile technology. This is crazy. The Chinese have had a free run, and now you have Donald Trump saying, boom, but a 25% tariff for Chinese goods coming into this country. You have people saying jobs are going to be lost, household incomes are going to be hit. Now, you're a lot of things.
I'm a lot of things.
You are.
Okay.
But we know you as the money. The money man, Mr. Money, the Treasure Valley's money man, Dave Pezzo.
Okay.
The impact, 25% tariffs. Now, I know how much you love the media, so I'm going to take away your gloom and doom offense that you always use. So I'm going to handicap you for a moment.
Yeah.
But if the Chinese start slapping tariffs on things, and particularly in Idaho, because we sell a lot of soybeans, sugar beets, and all these things to the Chinese. What's the real economic impact? Not fake news, Dave Pezzo.
Not fake news. Not this time. Yeah, there's a little bit of an economic impact, Kevin, but the reality is $300 billion worth of goods that we have tariffs on increasing. They're talking about something less. I can't remember what the number is, but it's not. It's just not going to be a big needle mover for the overall economy. That's not to say, Kevin, that it doesn't have a strong impact in certain industries and on certain businesses. And that's why I do know, and this is not to back up the president, but I do know the administration has been simply saying that for those in industries like farming that have been impacted adversely, as the Chinese have targeted that, right? They want to target his base. There's no question it's all politics, and they're aware of 2020 coming. So if they can survive economically in their country and hurt our economy, then they don't have to deal with Trump. They can deal with maybe a Joe Biden who is already in bed with the Chinese. So from their perspective, maybe they want to go that route, but they are really It's really hurting their economy, and we are backing up the farmers and other industries with subsidies so they can get through this time.
And we know how much you love subsidies. Let's go to some of the other local headlines.
Yeah.
So we've got this deal in Canyon County. You familiar with Canyon County at all?
Yeah, it's way
out
over
there. Is that what you're going to say?
It's over there west.
Perhaps you're looking at a vacation property in Canyon County.
Yes. Well, if we get away for the weekend. Yeah.
Sure. I know a lot of people that have vacation homes in Canyon County. In fact, I'm about 100 yards from Canyon County, so I would like to think that I'm an honorary Canyon County resident. So,
yeah.
So what is it? 2 or 3 attempts they've had at this new jail. You have the city, the county saying, look, I mean, we have people breaking out of the tent all the time, and they've come up with a new bond. Then you have the concerned citizens of Canyon County saying, look, we're not going to spend the money. People in Canyon County are not going to spend the money on this because they want to just refurbish the old jail,
right,
which is beat. So if you were marketing it, what would you think of just all the growth? And from what I hear, which hasn't been reported, that Ada County is looking for money for a new jail because of the growth. I mean, schools and jails, and, well, we need to build roads, but right now, schools and jails, your thoughts on, selling this, or do you think it's necessary?
Well, I don't have any question it's necessary, but I think as a taxpayer, all I see is taxes going up. And I mean the mill rates, not just because property tax.
Well, you do live in Boise, so you're overtaxed to begin with.
Correct. That is absolutely true. And, Boise is extremely high, and it doesn't surprise me they want more money. It doesn't matter how much money you give Boise. They just want more.
Plus public transit proposals, the stadium, the library. Why don't you just give us your credit card and everything will be great?
Precisely.
At least you'll get the points out of it.
Oh, and I'm sure they'll have some kind of a thing that tells me that don't worry, your tax rates won't go up. It's like, really? No, because we've got this special magic dust that works. It's as a taxpayer, I certainly understand where government doesn't plan for future, doesn't plan for growth. And then suddenly it's a crisis, and that's what we always have in education, right? There's absolutely, buildings get old and all that, and what we want to do is not spend a nickel on them, let them all fall down, and then we'll come back around. I mean, that's what the lottery was supposed to be for, right, as a permanent building fund. But all of these are because we have to build new schools. We've got to refurbish them. So we never, ever plan ahead in government, and that I understand is what politics as usual, right, which is crisis management. I get sick of it. I get sick of the fact that we have to expand one thing after another, and the only way we could ever do it is from a levy. So I understand where the taxpayers are coming from. But, Kevin, I think that as we see the growth, I would just simply try to sell it on the basis that there's just so much growth here, and the jail is too old, and refurbishing it would cost a ridiculous amount of money and wouldn't last as long as a new jail where we start from scratch. So I don't think they're doing a good job selling it.
I can't. Well, it's
clearly needed.
You know the deal. And our great friend, Reverend Bill, you remember Reverend Bill, the Boise Rescue Mission.
I've heard of him.
If Reverend Bill, who was on that committee like 2 or 3 times ago, couldn't make it happen, I just can't see the folks in Canyon County getting behind this thing. I just don't see it.
Yeah. Well,
and that's not an indictment on them.
No.
Look, it's their choice. And we have, the news stories about the people breaking out and now the extra money, and you've got the papers covering the stuff. But if people don't want to pay for it, they're not going to pay for it.
No, that's exactly right. And again, I think it just goes back to the fact that people are saying enough's enough. I mean, I can't believe we still all just say, yeah, okay, it's all right. Go ahead and just, nobody plans for a school deteriorating. Go ahead and just send me some more levy, bigger levy.
Right.
Pay more property taxes constantly, and don't get a better education out of it.
But you do have more people moving in.
We do. We absolutely.
There's a new study here from the Idaho Business Review. By the way, you're listening to Dave Petzo, Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. A new study from the Idaho Business Review, 75 new homes for every 100 new households. The Treasure Valley facing severe housing shortage. That's why my backup career is real estate, man. I can hook you up. I can sell you that vacation home in Canyon County.
You could.
Yes.
I didn't know you were licensed. You're ready to roll.
Well, no, I didn't say I was licensed yet, but
you could.
Hypothetically, one day.
One day
I'll be licensed.
And one day, hypothetically, I'll buy a vacation home in Canyon County.
Exactly, and I'd love to earn your business. But back to this, 75 new homes for every 100 new households. Look, there's only so much. So how far you can move out. Parma, Homedale, Fruitland. Now people are commuting in from Fruitland every day just to get a value for their property.
Yep.
Of course, that could be argued that it's lost because of the high cost of gasoline,
right?
Which we haven't gotten to yet, Dave Petzo.
Well, I knew we would have to, though.
Affordable housing, just regular housing, it's gone.
Yeah, it is. It is gone. A $300,000 house in Boise is just, they bid on them.
What is it? The median price in Ada County is either $310,000 or $330,000.
Yeah.
And for those of you that want historical perspective, Dave Petzo, you remember when you and I discussed this, that during the Great Recession, Canyon County homes were once valued at $140,000, were cut in half to $70,000. And this is less than 10 years ago, probably about 6 or 7 years ago. And Ada County, I think the median home price was maybe $150. And now twice that.
Yep.
Canyon County, like $200,000, $300,000. I mean, that rivals the stock market as part of a good investment there, Dave Petzo.
Well, it's about half what the market did, but
rivals your beloved market, buddy.
It's been a good 10 years for real estate. It's been an incredible 10 years for stocks. And not to, it's a good deal.
There's always a pressure point with Dave Petzo when you start rivaling his beloved market. So back to this.
Yeah.
What do we do? We're going to have a new mayor in Meridian.
Yep.
We have a new mayor. She's been in office 1 or 2 years in Nampa. You've got the mayor of Boise running for re-election. These are all people that are going to have to take a look at this and figure out what the heck to do.
Yeah. Well, it's always a problem with any city that's growing is that prices go up, real estate goes up because people want to live in close. And there is just not a lot of houses available. There's more people coming in. So that's what they're doing. They're just building further out, Kevin, and they will continue to do so in communities like Kuna, all the way out to Kuna.
Yeah, Cuna's not even out anymore.
No, yeah.
And then off 10 Mile, you remember 10 Mile?
I know, isn't that crazy?
Not only do you have the Tommy Ahlquist headquarters, but then you've got these 10 Mile estates or something that they're called, where it's not high-rise apartments, but I think 5 or 6 story apartments. Yeah,
and you see all these mega complexes.
Right, not to be confused with the other ones, since you're familiar with the area.
Yeah.
Next to 10 Mile Church, which I think are 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 stories.
It's incredible. It's absolutely astounding. The density is amazing. Yeah. It is amazing, and the prices are amazing. I mean, they are. I mean, it's literally people are $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 and up for apartments is a lot.
That's why Kevin Miller is getting into the real estate business. Kevin Miller is going to make so much money in real estate, he'll be able to buy KIDO Talk Radio, so he'll always have the employment.
You are really thinking this through.
This is thankfully my weekly tutoring sessions with you. I'm starting to think about money.
That's good.
Better late than never.
That is better. That's true. It's better to light a candle in a dark room than to sit there in the dark, right?
More with Dave Petzo next, KIDO Talk Radio. And blessed to be with you, our great friend Dave Petzo joining us. So let's talk a little bit about the disrupting economy. Uber goes public, Lyft goes public, then Lyft collapses. Uber blows up. You've got people that are billionaires from Uber, yet the people that are the drivers of the Uber, they're not happy. They feel they're being subjugated, and they want some socialism. Your thoughts on Uber going public? Does that really mean anything since Uber is so ubiquitous with, hey, I got an Uber. Have you Ubered?
I have Ubered, yeah.
Really?
I've Lyfted.
And
it's easy. It's a great deal.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Do you get a chatty Cathy, or do you get somebody that doesn't?
I've only had maybe 5 times in my life, so it's not like it's a lot. And
right.
And I mean, I've done a couple from airports into towns, and then a couple of other times is all. And so it's just I'm not the right guy to say that, but I think that it's just like any cabbie. You don't know what you're going to get in. When you get in, it's going to be somebody that's either a chatty Cathy or maybe and I think most of them, by and large, just play it by ear. Right? How are you? I'm good. And then so Kevin starts talking, and then, okay, I'm gonna talk back.
Now, I had a guy from Hawaii that wouldn't shut up. Nice guy.
Yeah, but just
wouldn't shut up.
Wouldn't.
Doing really well. I mean, he's doing well, but so Uber opened up at about 42 bones a share. Now it's down to 41. Are we seeing? Is this the same thing as Facebook or Google or anything else? Or
I don't know. This is going to be a tough one to read, Kevin, because Lyft is a real competitor, and how much room there is out there, and when after you pay the drivers, is there really money in this? But the fact of the matter is, they don't have to pay for the cars. I mean, it's not like you have anything except an app.
It's that disruptor economy.
Yeah, it is totally. The digital economy is very disruptive, and it's like I talked about on Saturday. We have to really be rethinking all kinds of things, and when we're talking about what is a value and what's cheap and what's dear out there, you look at these companies and you just shake your head if you're from the old school. That how can it be worth $75 billion when all they do is have an app? They don't actually have any cabbies or anything like that. And the answer is, don't buy the cab industry you think is cheap. They're on their way out. So we have to really rethink these things. And all industry is being affected by the digital age in a very big way. And if the companies aren't on the cutting edge of that disruption, they're on their way out. And it really, we're getting big revaluations on Wall Street, and we should be, because profitability is declining with the old school. Cabs are gone. That's just one symptom of it, Kevin. I just don't know that they're worth $75 billion. It doesn't appear to be a business that we can't live without, because, meaning we can live without Uber because we've got Lyft and we'll have others as well.
Dave Petzo joining us, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio, traffic and weather together. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Dave. And welcome back, Dave Petzo here. By the way, next Monday we'll be at the Walmart Garrity in Franklin collecting pennies for the Penny Patrol, so for the Boise Rescue Mission. Certainly a cause that is near and dear to your heart.
It is. It's very near and dear to my heart. I love the Boise Rescue Mission. I love that they change lives every day. It's an absolutely amazing mission they have there. It really is.
You coming
something.
out?
Yeah.
So it'll be our Monday kickoff. You and Larry Gebert, all the big stars.
I already talked to Larry about it, so I'll see him out there too. Yeah.
Boy, that's tough to compete, though. We have you and Larry Gebert, and then the rest of the week it's just us. But again, we are asking for your pennies. More details, KIDOTalkRadio.com. All right, Garth Brooks coming to the Treasure Valley.
How about that? You're not a big country fan, but Garth, what is it?
I'm a Snake River Stampede guy.
Well, that sounds country to me.
Right. Well, that's going on at the same time.
That's kind of old country. Is that what you're saying?
Country and Western.
Yeah.
So we got Garth Brooks coming to the Treasure Valley, to your beloved city of Boise.
Uh-huh. Oh, you think he should have come out to do like the Idaho Center? Is that what you're saying?
I think he could have picked, and backed by the big money corporation Amazon, by the way.
Yes, I see that.
Now, I like Garth Brooks. He's an American guy. But, I mean, of all the weeks, he couldn't have picked another week. And no one's picked up on this. Probably there's a reason why, of the Snake River Stampede. 100 and some years of tradition.
Yeah.
You got the Cowboys and everything else, and then you got Garth Brooks competing with him.
Gotcha. Well, I hadn't picked up on that either. He's not here all week, however.
Well, he's like 5 days.
Is he doing 5 days?
I believe so.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm glad that both of us are
by the stadium.
I'm glad that both of us are in tune with what's happening.
You more so than me.
So, Garth Brooks, what does that mean?
It means Boise's growing. I mean, it's a big regional pull.
Oh, great. More traffic. Thanks, Garth.
Yeah, exactly. It means it'll be expensive to be moving around Boise. It'll be tough to get your Uber during concert night.
Sure. So Garth Brooks, he hasn't been here in 20 years doing a stadium tour. Now, he sells out like 80,000-seat stadiums. Bronco Stadium, I think they're going to up it to 44,000.
How do they do that? Oh, get him out on the field, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
The brand new blue field. The brand new blue turf. They say they won't damage it. Again,
they better not.
Everybody, this is great, but on the other hand, so you're a business guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
you know how to compete. So here you have Amazon.
Yeah,
Amazon that's destroying America. They make Walmart seem charitable.
I know. Death Star.
Back in Garth Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Kevin Miller and the Snake River Stampede on the other side.
And who am I for? I got to choose. Yeah, I know. No, I love the Snake. I love the Snake River Stampede. It's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're back at the Buckaroo Breakfast. You didn't answer the question. However, we need to have you out there for the Buckaroo Breakfast.
I would like that.
We'll be out there, I think, on a Monday. So
okay.
But back to the story. So obviously there's going to be a draw. I mean, 44,000 people every night.
Mm-hmm. That's big.
Yeah, tickets go on sale May 17th, by the way.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll be pretty sold out real fast.
You think 5 shows he's going to sell out?
I don't. It's hard to believe. You know what? They don't do this if they don't study it. If they don't think he's going to fill every seat, they don't come here.
Amazon.
Well,
now you want to support the local people. I think you go to the Mutton Bustin', you go to Military Night, you go to, there's no Kevin Miller Night, but, but
you swing by and say hi.
Right. So how do you compete? Do you think high school football has the same challenges? Because Boise State, I think, has the majority of their dates are Friday nights now, which is good for them as far as national television exposure. But
darn right.
You got Friday night football, high school football to compete.
Yeah. Well, big deal. I'm sorry. Boise
Are you
State
surrendering? Are you surrendering?
I'm not. I'm only surrendering on the high school thing. I didn't know that was during the snake period, because that's a very comparable audience.
Exactly.
So no,
I'd be worried.
That's too bad. I am worried. I would be worried too.
I'd be doubling up my sponsorship of the Kevin Miller Show.
That's right. There you go. But I think you're right. I think it's going to have an impact on the Snake River Stampede. I'm sad about that.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Maybe I should start lobbying Mr. Brooks to come back later.
Yeah,
that would go over real well.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd say, "Oh yeah, let's flip flop Salt Lake City with you," or whatever.
Sure,
yeah.
We'll be back in another 20 years.
Yeah.
Are you going to go?
I don't know yet. Rania isn't big on as big on country, although we just like live music. So
it's
the answer might be yes.
It's an experience from what I hear.
My guess is yes.
You know who won't be going?
You.
Kevin Miller.
Kevin Miller's not.
No.
You're not going to come out.
I'm going to be an isolationist.
You already are, Kevin.
Yes. I'm going to be at Baja Fresh just holding a torch or something. Anyway, Dave Petzo, anything else we should be looking out for?
No, it's all about the trade talks now, Kevin. It really is. The thing I wanted to point out real quick as people think about this, though, this week, is that 80% of the trading is done by machines. So I
heard you talk about that on Saturday.
Yeah, that's a big thing to think about, because it doesn't take a computer science major to figure out that the algorithms are going to be set for any good news, bad news on trade is going to be traded, meaning markets will move quickly in either direction. Volatility is going to be high right now, and don't let it throw you off your game. We may have some steep drops, and if you're trying to buy long term, then that's where you want to buy. Don't react to it. Just the only reaction you want to have is set up a plan and say, yeah, I'm ready to go in as soon as it drops a little bit. I really would like to buy some Apple. Guess what? You can buy Apple down 10% from where it was 1 week ago.
Dave Petzo joining us. We sure appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Always.
All right. He's the Garth Brooks of the Treasure Valley. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie. KIDO Talk Radio. Coming up, Liberty Linda, Pro-Life, and you. First, Rachel Sutherland, who's going to tell us from Fox News Radio on KIDO Talk Radio whether or not we are in a constitutional crisis. I'm stressed out to begin with. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, the term is being thrown around quite a bit by Democrats, and we've had constitutional crises before. There's different types. Basically, when one part of the government or a couple of parts of the government cannot agree on something, that is a constitutional crisis. If the Constitution can't answer the question, or if the institutions themselves fail, we saw one in the year 2000 when that election was so close and was decided by a few hundred votes in Florida. In this case, it sounds maybe more menacing than it is. The president on Twitter saying that basically there is no constitutional crisis, and that he's blaming the fake news media and that kind of thing. So, look, I mean, this is a situation where the Congress is at loggerheads with the White House over the Mueller report. Now, I think before you can really, I'm not a lawyer, but I think before you really go to constitutional crisis, the third branch government, the judicial system, would have to have been involved. And it really hasn't yet when it comes to the Mueller report, and I expect it will be. Now, if a situation happened where the U.S. Supreme Court ordered the White House to release the full Mueller report and unredacted and all the stuff, and they didn't, that would be a big constitutional crisis.
Right. And, the remarks of Nancy Pelosi over the weekend, he wants us to impeach him, he's goading us, Jerry Nadler. I don't know. Are they really trying to stop back the hordes of their own caucuses, constituents that is there a groundswell for impeachment from the more junior members of Congress?
Yeah, definitely among the junior members of the House there is, but you're right, and that Speaker Pelosi has been pretty circumspect in this regard. She has not wanted to go down that route because she says it's too divisive for the country, but she says it's not completely off the table. But they can't really even do that until they would have the full Mueller report. Even I think it was Hank Johnson of Georgia was saying that they need all that underlying evidence to impeach. So, I mean, right now it's just kind of same story, different day until this either heads to court or someone blinks.
What are we looking forward to this week? Just more of the bell ringing, more of the drums beating?
I think so. And also there are other things going on. Senator Lindsey Graham is going to introduce legislation to change the asylum laws. What he wants to do is have people who are coming from Central America apply for asylum in their home countries or in Mexico, so they wouldn't even be allowed in with an asylum claim. He also wants to change the Flores Agreement, which states that minor children cannot be held beyond 20 days. He wants that extended to 100. But here you have, again, a situation in the Senate where there would be a filibuster, and so Democrats would need to swing over and support this proposal. And I just, especially in this political climate, Kevin, I don't see anybody wanting to work together. So probably that will not go anywhere. So expect to hear about immigration and just probably more on this fight over the Mueller report when Congress comes back.
Right. And sooner or later, I think, in September, October, that continuing resolution runs out?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they'll have another fight over the budget. Now, would the Democrats try to shut down the government over the Mueller report? I have heard speculation about that. And you remember the last one was the longest in history, and everyone just eventually got fed up and came up with a deal. I don't know what would happen if they actually got the Mueller report involved in passing the budget. That's something that, I don't even like to think about.
Rachel, we always appreciate you. Again, it's kind of disheartening that it looks like everything is on hold till after the 2020 elections.
It does. It really does. And we'll see what happens in court, though, Kevin. And always appreciate being with you.
Have a good day. Thank you, ma'am.
You too.
Our great friend, Rachel Sutherland. All right. I've been remiss. Let's get to your reaction. Liberty Linda joins us now, KIDO Talk Radio. Thanks for your patience.
Well, good morning, Kevin. Kevin, is it an abuse of power when you give a doctor the right to deliver a baby and just sit it on a table while you make the decision whether the baby lives or not? I think that's the type of abuse of power the Dems want to have in their hands. So I don't think they should be able to be talking about abuse of power.
Mm-hmm. But they are, Liberty Linda. I mean, you've got Nancy Pelosi and others saying they're going to get him.
I know, and they're the ones. The Dems are the ones who want all the power. President Trump wants to give everything to our nation, make it a great nation again, and he's doing it. He's just absolutely such a tremendous, wonderful president. It's almost unbelievable. We're sitting back here thinking, wow, he's getting it done. Anyway, so we don't, and then the Democrats come up and we're scratching our head going, what in the world is going on? So anyway, and I have to say, wow, that young man teaching his children and teaching us, the citizens of America, to go out and scrub off that graffiti. And what a lesson he has taught us and his children, that we should all get together and when we see something like that, take care of it ourselves. I think it's a wonderful lesson that he has taught us. And anyway, so, and also, I have to say, oops, I still have Idaho plates on my car. And I just don't want to get rid of them. But, I'm here, temporarily. And until the Lord shows me which way I'm going, and then I'll get new plates wherever I go. So, anyway, I don't know about the plates thing up there, but I still have Idaho plates. And, of course, I love all you Idahoans. Idaho will always be a part of my heart, whether I move back there or not. And hopefully I'll be able to make it up there, to see you for your week of collecting pennies, dollars. Or I remember a woman that came in and gave you a check for $500. You remember that day?
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, but a penny, every little bit helps, is what I say.
Well, and we're hoping for lots of pennies, pounds and pounds and pounds of pennies. And if people don't want to bring in their pennies, they can sure bring in their dollars. That would be great for the Boise Rescue Mission next week.
Absolutely. The work that they do there is absolutely wonderful. And the help, you see the people that have gone through the program, and they turn out to be wonderful people. Just, the Lord is in their hearts again. And,
exactly.
And they have a future. So thank you so much, Kevin, for what you do for the community. And when we call in and listen to you, thank you for all those little stories about the graffiti that touches our hearts. Thank you for that, Kevin.
Thank you, Liberty Linda. Take care now.
You as well. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pro-Life joins us now on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Pro-Life. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, Liberty Linda said the president's really getting it done. He's not getting it done on the border. He is really failing, and he could turn it around tomorrow. All he'd have to do would be to put military from sea to sea, close down the whole border, deputize all the locals, make everybody that they can catch a illegal alien, call for the Border Patrol, have them put across the border. The Border Patrol, I saw a report, is saying that the drug cartels in Mexico are managing this invasion. There's hundreds of thousands of people coming in here. It'll be millions, if they don't close it down. You can't build a wall fast enough to stop this. And the only answer is military and to stop the asylum system at all. I mean, that has to be just totally shut down. Now, the president needs to do that, and you need to call. I've called my congressman a bunch of times. They won't even speak up against this, what I'm saying publicly. We all need to say this publicly. We need to get Congress, the Republican part of the Congress wanting to do this. And if they want to impeach the president for protecting the nation, Article 4, Section 4 of the federal Constitution says that the federal government will protect the states against invasion. They're not doing that. And President Trump, he's at fault. He can do it. And so that's the bottom line.
Well, what do you want him to do?
Just by executive order, close the border down. Just put military sea to sea from Tijuana to Brownsville. Just nothing but, where you can see the next guy, and then you have the shifts come in so that there's no way that anybody can cross there. And it would solve it all. Then all the people in Latin America say, you can't get across the American border. No way. There's people just everywhere there. They just pick you up and throw you back across the border. And then they'd say, I'm not going to go up there. But now they believe that they can get in. So it just encourages more and more. We're the dumbest place I've ever heard of, and President Trump is leading us to be stupid. He could stop it tomorrow. I'm not pleased with him at all.
Well, what Republican are you ever pleased with?
Well, yeah, I mean, why should you be a Republican when you have a dumb leader like that?
Wow, you're calling President Trump dumb?
Well,
what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Well, President Trump is either doing this to cause the crisis to get so great that it's going to be politically correct for him, but it's wrong humanitarian-wise. It's just wrong every-wise. He needs to do something about it right now. Why wait till 2020 when everybody just says, hey, he's right on the border? No. Then there's millions of people over here that shouldn't be here. That's ridiculous. He's very, very conniving or stupid, one or the other. But tell me the stupid Republicans that won't talk about just what I'm saying. They're all over the place. They're not going to talk about it. There's no leadership.
Well, that's why we have our little soiree in the morning to talk about it.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I'm sure glad I'm very thankful for the Kevin Miller Show.
Well, I'm very thankful for pro-life.
Well, hey, I'm thankful that there's some women that aren't killing their babies. That's the bottom line about everything.
And remember, sperm meets egg.
Yeah, when sperm meets egg, there's a new person on Earth. The whole person is there, their personality, everything, and they just get bigger. And you can't kill a baby after that time. So anyway, that's called fertilization.
All right, pro-life. Thank you for the education class today.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And let's go to Eric in Cuna. Eric, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio.
Hey, good morning, brother. Hey, I love
morning.
the show, and I just want to say this is a side note to what pro-life was talking about. Pro-life, I love pro-life. Pro-life and Tea Party Bob, they're like my favorite callers, and I got a really awesome idea, and I hope they're both listening. I think Tea Party Bob and pro-life should run for governor and lieutenant governor.
Well, you know,
either one of them.
Tea Party Bob, Tea Party Bob had his opportunity and chose to pass.
Well, you know, Tea Party Bob can run the next time. And so can pro-life. Pro-life should run with him. One thing I like about pro-life, his foundation is never shaken. He doesn't even change the tone of his voice. You're kind of joking with him. I really like his I just like the way he's not shaken at all. You know what I mean?
Right. You can't shake him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his foundation is firm is what I'm saying. But, you know, he's exactly right. We don't know what Donald Trump goes through day to day and how much we know his hands are tied and there's rocks being thrown at him and Nancy Pelosi's marching into Washington with a Mexican flag. I mean, we know what's going on. And, you know, Latino integration has been here. It's part of our culture. It's part of the culture in the United States. And, you know, but it's always been, for the most part, there's never really been this kind of craziness of all these people going through the border. We know it's a political stunt. It was a political stunt. They were marching up there from Honduras and whatnot right when Obama was on his way out. You know, they were setting this up. They wanted to just set up a big surprise for Trump in every way they could possibly cluster in their confusion of madness. You know what I mean?
Well, this has been going on for years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is like the culmination of insanity. You know, at one time, the political parties, they balance each other out and they work together. You know, there is some Democrats out there, you know, that are gun-toting, Constitution-believing Democrats. Not too many of them. Most of them are, you know, like dudes in the union that are like JFK Democrats, but, you know, they're like 0.5% or something, right?
Right.
But, you know, I really just think that the insanity and the division and just the incessant, nobody ever compromises. Nobody looks at the better. Everybody wants the same things. We all want safe. We all want a safe society. We all want family. Everybody deep down really wants the same things. And this obsessive insanity coming from the left, it's absolute insanity.
Well, that's why we're here, the home of Sean Hannity, the cure for insanity. Eric, thank you. Jim and Eagle, hang on first. Traffic and weather together. KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller in the morning. Good morning, Dave. Jim and Eagle, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio.
Good morning, sir. I had a comment on pro-life's comment, who I do agree with. I just don't agree on the timeline. I think President Trump should do the same thing pro-life is talking about, get the military down there, you know, get the work done on it. But I'm just afraid of the timeline. If President Trump was to do that too soon, I'm afraid he wouldn't get reelected, and whoever comes in is just going to take it all away. I think if he plans it, strategizes it, does it the right way, he gets reelected, he'll have years to be able to have the military down there and get the wall built around that. And then once the military can pull it back, the wall's already there. That's just my comment. I think that needs to be done. Just wait till after the reelection, get it to where he can have more support and be able to do it unopposed.
Well, he needs some support from the Republicans.
But I think he'll get more of that. He got rid of a lot of the rhinos in the last election. That's why the House is now controlled by the Democrats. I think in the next election, if he keeps the economy going, the China trade talks get done properly, the gas prices will get hopefully put down. I think those things will get more support from the constituents of the Republicans in the various states. Hopefully the House can go back, and then he'll have that kind of support because the people that got in the Senate are ones that he supported. I think 9 out of the 11 that he supported got elected to the Senate.
Great point, Jim. Kevin Miller, good morning.